to you
right.
and transcribe. It doesn't
You just have
transcribe it.
to-
It actually gives you both the transcription of
And
the
the
And
tape.
and the breakdown of the overview.
Do you have to pay
But
extra
it's
for that?
no.
That's what I was just asking. Do you have to pay?
It doesn't
You just
transcribe
send
it.
it
It actually
to
gives
me.
you
Honestly, now I'll delete out of this, right?
And
Yeah,
then
just
it
goes the whole thing.
gives me
Like
breakdown
that?
reminder.
Yeah, that, or you can
Gives
just
you
post
the
the whole-
next steps for each person, broken
Since we're
down
gonna
by
have to post it
person.
all anyway.
Because Allison's supposed to
Oh,
do
wait.
this,
I just do
you know,
control W,
you're
I
supposed to do
think.
this, and it's been.
Yeah, and one more time.
One more time?
You're not.
There we go.
You're not on Zoom.
Oh,
You could,
never
you could
mind.
open the Zoom up.
Yeah, you can open a Zoom up in the
And
background.
that's how I keep my job.
On your computer.
Oh, that and the
Camera
other
on
way.
Gmail.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
They're shared, right?
I've
Chief
s-
Francis?
I've sent him, he forwarded it to his Gmail, I think,
I'm gonna
something I sent him.
We're ready to go. We're live and
Okay, great.
we can start.
Ethan is trying to send something to everybody. We'll call the meeting to.
Did he-
5.
He sent the minutes from. earlier.
Yes,
Correct,
so
he did,
Okay,
yeah, he
okay.
did.
To the email. I'm just gonna pull that up because I forgot to. Where'd that go? Sorry. Oh, am I not on Wi-Fi?
I did this, but
Oh, I don't know where that went. Do we have any
copies?
public comment? No, we need minutes. I'm having trouble finding the minutes, sorry.
Ethan just sent them.
I just sent
fine.
Comments.
corrections, yeah.
Do you need me to print them out for you?
No, I just need to find them.
He just sent it
You
again.
just sent it
Yeah.
via Gmail there.
To your Gmail, yeah.
I pulled that up.
Did you call to order?
Infrequent.
Yes,
I
you
did
did.
7:05. Oh, come on, Claire. Why is this not working? My brain's not working today. I apologize. Okay. So these are your changes to the,
Yeah, I just, there were a couple of changes. There's no amount listed under the payment of bills. It's the most substantive, everything else is really. typed out.
okay, we'll
Nothing
add
else.
that in. Were there any other changes that people were finding? I'm just trying to look through. A couple of typos.
Can I make a motion?
Yeah. please.
Second.
All in
I was just
favor?
gonna say, I make a motion to accept with Ethan's changes and any typos that need to be addressed.
Second. Sound.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Ted, you're up. We got the. Sorry, I'm gonna lose my voice halfway through the meeting. Do people have any questions about the bills?
I have a correction.
Uh-oh. What's that?
The last item all the way down,
Uh-huh.
reading across, says electronic 1090 NEC.
Uh-huh.
That should be 1099, not 0. 1099.
I have on mine.
All the way at the bottom.
That's what you have? Is it? Did you get the second version?
It should say CPA. Is that right? We changed that to CPA, didn't we? To
Aye.
$200, yeah. The amount there is $200.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Did Nelson do those?
Did Nelson do those? No.
No,
No.
Let's do it.
Ottery Hill will be doing it.
It's nice we found somebody.
Well, this is it's not, that's not the big one. That's not
Oh, that's not the
big
big
state.
one. Okay.
I had one question, Ted. The last line just before the subtotal for invoices, what's the PFL for?
Paid family leave.
Answered.
Paid family leave. That's paid by employees.
Thank you.
I also just noticed a typo, copier supple. It should be probably supplies, but I think it's a negligible typo. But I just saw it. Okay, can we get a motion to accept these?
I make a motion to accept the cap 250121F in the amount of $25,749.61.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okey dokey. Any other questions with the rest of the financial reports? Everything looks pretty straightforward. We did pretty good with the end of year fundraising. I was pleased. Thank you, Ethan. I'm gonna,
I think we'll make our,
next year.
I think we'll make our goal next year.
Mhm.
I optimistically say that,
Mm-hmm.
but knowing how well the newspaper did, I
Mhm.
think that we can also I think we can reach the same goals, so.
Okay. Any questions, any comments?
On the income, you received $149.30 local library state aid from Mid Hudson.
Mm-hmm,
The Friends paid for the scanner,
mm-hmm.
and the ALA membership has been paid.
Okay, great. Lovely. Should we need to vote on accepting these? I make a motion that we accept these as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Okay. Oh. My problem. What's next? Do you have anything else to say financially, Ted?
Not at this point.
I got nothing to say. I never have anything to say. I need to spend a month trying to find something to say during my report.
I think we nailed it,
Mhm.
the budget.
Yeah,
I mean, that's incredible, really.
Yeah.
So well done, Deanne, Annie, team.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Good thing. Jean, do you wanna?
Yes, so in February, we're doing our membership drive. And in April, we do the Lunch and Learn programs, and we
Mhm.
have somebody booked. We don't have a date yet. The topic's going to be estate planning.
That's great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We could all hear more about that.
Tell me about it.
Deanne.
Okay. So I wanted to make a note of what some of the very kind notes we received in the donations. So I put that at the top of the report. People took the time to write a little note either on their, with their check, and a lot of people did return their cards that they received. So they did receive their fundraising cards. The library ended up receiving 4 copies of the card. So I don't know how that works, but we got them. Let's see.
Should we make a motion to donate to the library? We got it.
before,
I got one this year. I
good.
didn't get it last year, but
Yeah.
I got it this year.
Before I forget, I just received notice that Dee Dee Barrett's grant is coming through by the end of this month for $5,500. We will get
Wow.
$5,500
Great.
for that. All the libraries in the area are getting $5,500.
That's wonderful.
Do what?
That might have been arrived today.
Oh,
The check.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, sorry, I held it apart because you were
Oh,
really busy
yes,
with the.
you're right, you're right. Okay, so it
Maybe
probably
here,
came, they were just
awesome.
sending it through the box. So yeah, we probably got it today. Yay.
Did we have that specifically allocated, or that's just a general, use it as? Yeah,
Just general.
okay, awesome.
I can buy snacks with the kids. club.
Great.
I'd say
Great.
Okay, so the policy review, do y'all want to do the policy review this month, or do you want to?
I think we have
We
it
have
on as a
separate.
separate.
Okay. Let me give you a grant update. I had to close out the legit grant on the 31st, and so I did. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was due the 11th. And we got that done. We used 60%, and again, I'm going to reapply to on the 15th, I believe, of next month, and I'll just apply for 5,500. I'm reforming the teen board, and we will start in February.
Did they say we could use the remainder?
They indicated that we could just keep that and subtract that amount from the grant, reapplying for the grant for
Okay.
next year. She was fine with that, because I think she sees us doing things with it. I
Right.
don't think she's worried about it, and we
Is
will.
that Aileen?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super happy with us.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
So we'll continue on the same vein of what we've been doing, and
That was for all the teen courses through the summer.
yes,
Those
yes,
were awesome.
good.
Those were great.
Good, we'll have some more too. Let's see. Yes, seed money we've already gotten. Okay, so the New York State annual report is due the 14th. They've opened it up. I
That's nice that
started.
they made it due on Valentine's Day.
But they
would
opened it
be
up
good
early.
for-
They opened it up early, so I've already
Okay.
started. And
Okay.
we should be in fine shape. We're
Okay.
gonna be fine. I'm gonna take the training just in case.
There's always a couple sticky spots that Alexis used to get like jammed up with, so let us know if you need help.
Okay, Mid Hudson has indicated that they have changed some of their data requirements at the last minute or from last year, so they've got to make some adjustments on their end.
Okay,
But they're gonna help us out. And I think
Okay.
it looked okay when I was looking at it today, but Andy's gonna help me pull that together, some numbers. We've been doing, for staff development, we've been taking the Digital Equity Academy. It's a 7-week course. I'll let you know how that's going. It's really boring and slow right now, but I do get a few good nuggets of information out of it, but oh, they make you pay for it. We've done our self-evaluations. That went well. Everyone seems to be happy with what's going on, and y'all are free to comment on me whenever you want. I also took naloxone training through Dutchess County Health Department, so that means Annie and I are both trained now.
great.
We've got a box, which is why I'm having that course or the
Mhm.
policy put in today, because we now have a box of doses that we can utilize, but we need to have a policy in place for that. And as far as I know, we don't. We did not have a policy. Okay. Let's see. For new programs. We've got managing conflict consciously. This is a lady that I did who did the conflict resolution during the holidays. She was really good. She's got a 6 or 7 week course, 6-week course. That sounds really interesting. It's a small course for like 6 to 8 people, and you have discussions, and it's a seminar session. So I would like to pay for that because I think it's good, and we could kind of use it right now. And let anybody have any comments on that, but these are the topics that will be covered. And she's
So people would need to sign up
they would need to
in
sign up.
advance and commit.
Yes, well, we would pay her fee. So it
Okay.
would be $600 for us to pay for it, and then we would limit the number of people who could attend. So 6 to 8 people would be attending.
She did the one class a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Do they build on each other? So you'd have to go to all the sessions?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a very good.
But you can see the sessions. I
Yep.
listed the session titles underneath there, and
Mhm.
so that you probably wouldn't have to have all of them, but each one,
Can I attend just 4?
sure,
Just number 4?
yeah. Well, actually,
Might be helpful.
if we have a limited number, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm teasing.
Okay, so that's gonna.
How
that-
about the rest of the world? Sorry,
Yeah, I know.
5 sounds good to me.
No. So we've got Pine Plains Young Journalist Group that we're starting.
Yeah,
we-
Patrick mentioned that.
Yes, he and I met and I've got the ball rolling with the school. We're getting the word out and we meet with the school next week with Mr. Boyd, the principal, so we can get that going. That'll be from 13 to 19-year-olds. And it sounds really, really cool. Let's see, Annie's arranged a strength and balance class with Alyssa starting, Alicia starting next Monday.
The first Monday of February.
Okay, first Monday of February. That's gonna be different from the other ones that we're having because it's strength and balance.
Sorry.
Is it chair based or?
I spoke to her. It sounds like she's thinking more standing.
Okay.
That she was gonna have some mat level things,
Mhm.
but when I was speaking to people in the community, there was a lot of concern about a lot of folks who'd want it, can't.
Get down
you
on the
know,
floor.
Yeah, or at least, certainly can't get back up.
Mhm.
So Alicia said she'd revise.
Is that gonna be upstairs or down here?
It'll be upstairs.
And we have the room reserved. Everything's fine with that. We've got
Great.
that reserved. We've also re-upped our reservations for all of our
that's good.
courses for this year for the room upstairs.
Great.
Um,
So does that resolve the conflict?
mm-mm. No, it does not. Let's see. Okay, we're using the legit Silent Book Club. We've not had any attendees, but we've had some people call about it. English lessons. You want to give a report on English lessons real fast, or?
Sure, I've got 4 folks spread across 3 classes per week. They all at this point attend regularly. They usually also give me a heads up if they can't come, but that's pretty rare. They've all said they're enjoying the classes, that they're helpful. And since they keep coming back, I'm assuming they're not lying.
Right.
And you have help now. You've got Judith Wolf is helping you, or is that the same?
Yeah, so technically I'm doing 5 classes a week. The Tuesday class, one of our students really wasn't comfortable driving so late at night, since
Okay.
the other class started at 6:30.
Okay.
So I do a 4:30, then a 6:30, a 10 a.m. on Wednesday, and then Thursday, the 4:30 and the 6.
Okay.
One of them, it's tricky. Literacy Connections is involved with 2 of the classes, kind of involved with a third. And we have a volunteer who has said she'd be very happy to take over one of the classes. So I'll only be doing 4.
Yay.
Is
Probably
Literacy
you.
Connections through Northeast?
No, they're their own.
It's a whole separate entity.
Yeah.
I have a question about it. So, if, let's say I wanted to do it, do I have to go through a training to do it? Okay. And is that something that we're gonna offer to the community to have more people get trained in how to do it, or?
I mean, they really have to do it themselves and register.
Got
with
it. Okay,
Literacy Connections. They'll handle all the training
Okay.
and the signing up. They assign students, based on student preference and teacher preference.
got it. Okay.
They also do English when it's your first language literacy, which I feel like I want to just plug, say that there's a group out there doing both English learning and English reinforcement.
Right. I think that Mary Jenkins is also trained in it, so I don't know if she.
I don't know if she's trained with the
She is.
same organization. Oh, she is?
But she has an established class in
Oh,
Stanford.
Okay, all right.
We spoke, she said she might be interested in
Okay.
Pine Plains, but seems like she's got a good group there.
Do you have any connection in the school with the Spanish classes? Because I would think for like Spanish 3, the kids that are really proficient at it, who want to stick to it. It
Good-
looks
good
really good on a
volun-
college
Be a good
resume.
volunteer opportunity.
And
for
it's
them.
yeah,
I feel like we
And
reached
some of
out
them
to them
probably
about
speak
that. And
Spanish
they,
in their home.
pretty, yeah.
I feel like we reached out to them and all the adults were like, oh, that's a great idea. And the students, not so much.
Okay.
That was my recollection of that.
Well, we
but-
were going to do a cultural exchange
Mhm.
and the Spanish language teacher is out on maternity leave.
Oh,
So
that's
that
right, that's what it
altered our
was.
plans completely. So we can't,
Hmm.
we shelved it until later, but it's still on the,
Yeah,
it's still on the
okay.
drawing board for that. Let's see. So Dungeons and Dragons going great. Board night, game night is actually going really, really well. We had 8 people last
great.
Friday and it was a hoot. Story times, we had 11 kids or 11 people at the last story. It was standing room only in the kids' room. It was
On a
really great.
Wednesday?
Yeah, on a Wednesday morning.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Was it
Um,
because
Was that
school was out?
vacation week?
no, maybe it was. I don't know, but they were all there.
Yeah,
The little
'cause-
bitty ones were there. I don't know.
Next one.
Right? Wasn't that the holidays or
Yeah,
am I
next-
a week off?
Oh, yeah,
Um,
there's the Lunar New Year, is
yeah,
that the
that's next week.
Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday we're off.
Mhm.
I didn't. The school's out.
Really?
Yes. Michael Manning, story times, I've canceled Saturday morning story times because we only have one staff here and
Mhm.
we're busy. So Michael Manning, I was going to give a shout out to him. He's been here every Saturday for like 4 weeks in a row and he's helping us out as a library buddy. So he just sits up here while
Right.
we do. And we have another volunteer who's coming in on February, sometime towards the end of February. So she'll be able to help us on
Great.
Saturdays too. We're still looking for more volunteers if you need.
Mhm.
The After School Kids Club is steady, could be improved on Thursdays and Mondays, but I did reach out to the bus manager earlier this year and she asked me some questions, so that's not a no about getting a bus from Cold Spring and Seymour. So I'm still in contact with them, so we'll see. That'll make a big difference. And I'll do another flyer. Once I figure out if we can get a bus or not, I'll do another flyer because I need to do another flyer handout to
Mhm.
that. Fiber Nuts is going great. Scavenger hunts, Jordan has done an amazing job with scavenger hunts. We just have scavenger, it's like 6 going now, 5 or 6 different ones going.
Yeah.
And she keeps them going every week. And we're trying some new things with story time, kind of piecing together a story scavenger hunt. So it's a challenge, more of a challenge. And Jordan's also been doing a great job with book displays. People are coming in and checking out the books that are on display.
Mhm.
So we're using up all the space that we can
Hmm.
to come up with some really cool displays, themes. So we have some shared virtual programs. I got an update from at the DCLA meeting last week about, was that this week? Did I go this week?
I think it was last week, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's been a long week. No, it's only Tuesday. It was last week. It was last week.
It's been a long week.
Last week, yes. Last week I went to the DCLA meeting and the shared virtual programs, they're getting a lot of sign up, but they're not getting a lot of people actually coming in on the Zooms. But the next couple of ones, well, that was tonight, was the Gilded Age ice skating. But February 13th is Gilded Age Love Stories. And then on the 27th, we're having a Reading Rainbow documentary, Butterfly in the Sky, which should be really cool because there's a new documentary about Reading Rainbow, the program, the show.
Mhm.
So it's the
I don't
anniversary
know
of
if the
that.
purpose of, I love the idea, but I haven't liked any of the programs personally. If they were like, the estate planning that the Friends are
Yeah.
doing or something like super useful, I would be there wholeheartedly. So I don't know if you want to take that back to the Library Association. I don't know what their intention is with it. So.
It's just fun little things. Like the Keepers of the Light, Women Lighthouse Keepers on the Hudson Rivers, one on the March 12th.
Yeah.
So that's it's mainly historical ones. They're just light and fluffy little things. We're looking at doing.
Are they half hour or hour?
I think they're about an hour.
Well,
Wow.
when we used to have,
Yeah. Veronica in particular had a lot of historical talks happening
up,
here
here, and they were very well attended.
They were.
So that's what the library's experience is the same in other libraries as historical ones. Got a lot
I
of.
mean, one
attention.
of these topics would probably, more people would probably come in person, I'm thinking.
We were trying to have
It
them.
was at a certain,
Yeah, but it's night. It's the winter months and nobody really wanted to get out at night is what they
Yeah,
were talking
yeah,
about. So
that's
that's why
true.
we're doing the Zoom ones.
yeah.
I'll take that. Okay, what else? Okay, so then I went over the December statistics.
Mhm.
And then, our overdrive wait time has fallen. It's falling, which is good. We're keeping up with demand. But I also wanted to show you the end we did a 5-year look back on the library and all right, I was happy with our statistics for December. And
Can I ask just whether you have an answer for this or not? It used to be that the home library and the P-type were disparate numbers. Have they cleaned out the database?
that would be Annie.
So they're a lot closer. I think they were off by 1 or 2 last time I checked.
They're
but
even now. I mean,
Yeah.
according to this.
I don't, if there's 1 or 2 off, I'm not messing with it. I'm just gonna put it the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically the same.
Yeah, the problem is most of them that I've found, they don't live in Pine Plains. And so it becomes this almost a jurisdictional thing of if they're not going to be our patron, I cannot touch that record.
Hmm.
But, oh, their address is Red Hook, but Red Hook, I don't know,
But
maybe
I
they've never
thought
been in
that was what the P-type was, is they're choosing this as their,
That's the home library. The
Okay.
P-type is,
who owns the
Ooh.
record.
no, they're both supposed to agree with each other. That's
Okay.
the main problem. Why they
Oh,
did. So we'd
okay.
have people who their home library is Pine Plains, but it's their home library because say they work here and it's just easier to pick
Right.
stuff up, but they live in Poughkeepsie
Sure.
maybe. So when the records were entered, whoever entered them did not make those 2 fields match.
Mhm.
And then it becomes me calling around and saying, hey, do you know this patron?
Mhm.
Can you tell me what their preference would be? Do you want me to call the patron? Do you want to call them? Because right now, neither of
Okay.
us has ownership.
Okay.
So say somebody lives in Milan, they live on North Road, that, to my knowledge, is not taxed to Red Hook Library. Because Red Hook only goes to like Academy Hill or something like that.
Mhm.
And they decide that their home library is Pine Plains, it's Pine Plains Schools, it's
But we're
closer.
not a special district. so
But
we
we're not a
can't-
special district, so it's not our P type for that person. Is that
So
correct?
your P-type is used more for statistics and what you can have access to my understanding.
Hmm.
If you are regularly using the Pine Plains Library, you are our P-type. Even
Okay.
if you could live in Stone Ridge, as long as you are coming to this library, the standards are, last I reviewed, those 2 fields have to match.
Okay. And they have for 6 months. That's
Yeah,
definitely,
that's-
that's.
It took
all
some
legal.
cleaning up. It
Yeah.
definitely took some cleaning up. It was
Okay.
it was a big project.
Okay.
So when I log into my library account, my default library is Millerton because that's where I opened my library card. Does that mean that's my home library?
You can always change them if that's more.
It might be
Because
appropriate.
every time I request something online, I have to change
Oh,
it to pick
yeah.
up here,
Yeah.
but honestly, Millerton is just closer for us, but
Mhm.
not by much.
Mhm.
So interesting, okay. I didn't really know if it, I assumed that because that's where we opened our library card when we first moved here, because at the time we were living in Millerton, that that's what we were stuck with, but it's interesting.
Well, you can change it. Annie can change it if you come to
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. That was
No,
just
any other
a
questions?
strange aside.
So let's see. New budget for new materials. If you look at the statistics of where the demand is, it is in e-materials. It is audiobooks. That is just, it is so much higher than anything else. So I'm allocating the budget accordingly. So I'll get like 8 audiobooks a month for $1,000. And that's
And
about
these are e-audiobooks.
e-audiobooks. And so the demand for is like 75% audiobooks, 25% ebooks.
Do we have the breakdown of the Hoopla usage?
Yes.
Like whether it's ebooks or audiobooks or
I-
do they do that?
They don't by default. I might be able to go in and manually check, but they
Okay.
don't generate it in their report.
Okay.
Our
It would be
Hoopla,
nice if they did.
Yeah,
yeah,
it would be great because it's like that's an additional, it's
Right.
not just a Hoopla, it's
it's not a
Yeah.
lot of, well, our Hoopla is not bad.
the Hoopla's
We
getting,
have-
it looks like it's getting better, but
I don't remember if we can get those.
and then
statistics.
Canopy seems to be like.
Yeah,
Nobody's
Canopy's
doing that anymore.
back and forth.
Everybody's got all the streaming services now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So our Sierra usage is barely up, but it is up. But our we're looking at less usage of Sierra than e-audiobook or e-materials. I'm
So
gonna
that's physical.
physical books,
loans.
physical
Okay.
checkouts have dropped a little bit.
Mm.
So from last year. And that a lot of that has to do because the camp did not come through this, because we had, they would check out books weekly during summer camp, and that would be 4 or 5 visits in the summer of 80 books each week. So we only had one visit last year. So that really affected our traffic, our library visits, and our checkouts. So otherwise we'd be in parity with 2024 or a little bit above. So weather, it was too
It
hot,
was very hot.
and they
I'm not
walked.
sure Andy's a big reader. Just set
And
that aside.
From what I heard, he wanted people to come to them. He didn't
Yeah.
want to have to take the kids anyway.
Well, that'll be different.
The kids loved it when they came here. They really,
Yeah,
they had a
Really
great
was-
time.
Really was weather.
Yeah.
It was-
weather.
There was the one day they
It
came.
was
really,
either
really
gonna
hot.
thunder
Or it was
Yeah,
so
it
hot.
was-
or it was
yeah.
so hot.
There was
so hot.
one, I don't know if it was this summer or last summer, that they set up a little like station on my block. So that people would like be able to stop and have like lemonade and water,
I bet it was this
on
year.
the walk, or it was just hot.
Do
There's
they
a
have
new
a camp
camp director,
director, I
right?
wonder?
There will be.
There will be,
Mhm.
and a new assistant.
No,
Oh, okay,
just yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
Assistant camp, yes, non-assistant camp.
So I guess the last page I just wanted to show y'all is the Sierra versus digital. Our Sierra usage is going up. And it looks like digital is kind of leveling off, but you can see the difference in the demand.
Yeah.
It's the last slide. And then the ebooks, the audiobooks versus ebooks
makes
is
sense.
just,
Particularly up here where you do have to do so much driving anyway. It's,
Yeah, no, I borrow a lot of audiobooks.
Mhm.
Thank you for all the graphs.
Oh,
I felt like a nerd, but
Oh,
I like seeing them all.
I was
Yeah,
hoping
no,
they made
it's-
sense and they were easy
Yeah.
to follow, so. I don't put them in monthly because a lot of our changes are incremental and they don't really show up, but they do year
Yeah,
over year.
no, I think the year over year is good. Can we have a motion to accept these?
So made.
1 second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi,
Great. So we're accepting the Ann's report. What's next? Gotta go to the beginning again. Oh, we got the facilities report, which is just the next page. Sorry.
It's okay.
I need to break the agenda out of the binder. I have to go back and forth.
Okay,
Okay.
ready? Okay, for personnel, I have had one interview with a person. They were getting their master's in library science, but they're getting it in archival studies. And so they were like, this is not a good fit. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna rewrite the ad a little bit and we'll post it in other places and try to make it sound more fun. We're still working on VoIP. I don't know that it's gonna work out because when I spoke to Optimum this time, it was 2 different people have told me 2 different things.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like optimal.
Yeah.
And they may be in India.
and Vonage is, they said they couldn't port the number, but I don't believe them. And
don't
I'm
believe them
still
either.
trying to figure out how to get that situated. So that's on hold. The
Is that
gaming,
the biggest concern is just getting the phone number transferred over or just getting it in? Because I have it at home and it's through a totally separate company.
from Optimum,
No, because we don't have Optimum, we have Spectrum.
well, Vonage is the one that would be agnostic. They don't care who your carrier is, so long as you have
Yeah, the
it.
one we have too. I can ask what carrier for because our phone is completely separate.
Well, for the business line, they're requiring us to have 4 lines minimum. And that was the 3rd person I spoke to.
Right.
So I don't know, y'all. Vonage seems like a good opportunity because it's cheap, but I
You don't
can't,
need-
they said they can't port our number, which doesn't make any sense to me. But I had to do reports and things and grants, so I'm not worrying about that. I'll keep working on that. The gaming computer, I don't, at one meeting I had problems with IP getting internet, and it was because somebody had taken the antennas off the back of the computer. So Rich is getting us,
Did they steal them?
they stole them. And some other things too. We just found out today the dongles for the wireless, so we're going,
Where's the camera pointed at?
not over this
Mhm.
far, not over this far. I can try, but I wouldn't know when to look.
Feel the dongles?
Yes,
Can we add? We have 4 cameras now with a capacity of 6, correct?
Mhm,
Can we add one
mhm,
over here
mhm.
above the computers?
It's sitting over here though. That's the one. We have one over there that
Oh.
goes, it was this one. It was this one right here.
Okay.
It,
Can we add one
yes,
somewhere over
we
here?
we can.
And then when we check the computer back in, can we just check to make sure all the pieces are still on it, or it just sits out?
It
Yeah,
just sits
it's
out.
this-
We're going to
Okay.
hot glue it. I'm gonna try hot gluing. It's literally, I'm gonna hot glue it.
Do you remember the price breakdown for the cameras individually?
Like
Roughly.
200 maybe or less, or
I think it's
150, less than, it was like 100 or something like that.
I would make a motion up to $250 to get another camera added to the security system through
Okay.
Rich.
I'd second that.
I think we all in favor? Yeah.
Aye.
Okay.
Can you specify where we can get the money from?
Oh, no. I always
The
forget
Dee Dee
we have
Barrett
to do
grant?
that.
Yeah, sure.
Now, you have the Perkins grant that you use part of it for.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Perkins grant we've been using for tech.
but
so-
we used it for the
Okay,
cameras beforehand.
yeah, so let's
Okay.
continue to use the Perkins grant for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ted, for reminding us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, so I changed out I got the new table. Did I have y'all, if you see the new table over there, that's working out well.
Good.
And then the other big issue is the community room scheduling conflicts. We had a situation this past month, excuse me, in January, where we have a longstanding class on Wednesday mornings, Tuesday mornings, and an event was scheduled over it without anyone telling us. And
Isn't it Tuesday at noon from
Yes.
noon to 2?
noon to, was it noon?
Yeah, noon to 2, because we
Noon
have the
to
2
2.
back to back.
Noon to 2. We have 2 classes back to back on Tuesday. And the town scheduled over those events and then didn't tell us. So we just happened to find out. And there's like 20 people that go to this class, both of those 2 classes. So we had to, and Kurt,
And what was the event that was scheduled?
it was
For Don Bartle.
Don Bartle's thing. And that would have been fine, but nobody told us.
Right.
And
Right,
we,
that's the
we
issue.
could have been
that's
told.
the issue.
Yeah.
And we found out by accident and then we had to scramble.
Yeah.
And and this is not the first time that an event has occurred that we didn't know about that's affected us. So all I'm asking for is if we have better communication with the town, or if there's a publicly available calendar, or even a calendar that they share with us. Just,
I mean, I don't know why you couldn't use a Google Calendar. It's, it's 2025. Not you. I wasn't directing that at you.
I
You
know.
just happened to be the person who
I'm
said you
a
too.
liaison to the town.
but in addition to making it easier on us, we can have staff park out on the street if we know that there's an event that's going to occur during the business hours. So that would, free up 2 parking spots.
Yeah,
So if-
it's been mentioned before that it
Yes.
should be a publicly.
It's been
posted
mentioned for 2
calendar.
years. Since I've been on the board, it's been mentioned.
So, yeah, I'll bring it up again.
And
And yeah, and I personally have had, like, when I was trying to schedule that mental health presentation, there was a lot of resistance to that because it was gonna be, maybe back to back by an hour. And I said, I'm okay with that.
well, we've also had we get yelled at a lot. The people come in and yell at us because they will schedule something for a Saturday morning and Friday night. And the Saturday morning crew will come in on Friday night and set up their party.
Yep.
But the Friday night crew comes in, they'll
And
come in the
something
afternoon
else is
and
set
say,
up.
hey, there's there's a table set up and we have an event. And so they'll move everything. They'll come down to
Oh, I
us
see
and
what you're
say,
saying.
so
Right.
and
Yeah,
they'll say,
yeah.
what
The
are you doing
rules
up there?
are
And it's
not
like, we're not.
being-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
came, like with the event, we were here, it was the whole baby shower was all,
yeah,
was
right,
all
right,
set.
the
I mean,
baby
it was totally
shower.
fine, but it was, I
Right,
could see how,
sometimes
I
it's
could
okay, sometimes
see
it
how that
isn't.
could be a problem.
Yeah, so they
And
come
I
in
think
Saturday.
that's what happened with the thing for Don Bartles, because
Mm.
the party wasn't
Until later.
until later, but they were setting up apparently.
Right. I mean, the Google
it.
calendars are so easy because you can
You-
do it and color code it. You can send out invitations, like the whole thing is like, I run my kids' schedules off the Google Calendar. It's so easy.
But for whatever reason, people are thinking they can set up early before the next day and they can't, or they don't know
They
that
need to
there's an
book-
event.
they need to be
Scheduled.
booked.
They
Right.
don't know
Right,
when
they
they're
need to
scheduled,
be
what's
given-
scheduled
Yeah,
down there.
right.
Yeah, so really, the Google Calendar is the best solution.
Right.
We have quite a few other problems with the people upstairs. They will have packages delivered to the library. The library doesn't know. We'll just have like UPS come in or FedEx and say, hey, this is for a person who doesn't work on the library. Is this for you? One time.
So it's like if somebody's having an event, you mean they have
Yeah, they'll
Amazon deliver their
Deliver all their
paper
paper
plates
plates.
Yeah, or someone.
Seems like a good
someone
idea.
Huge and
Right,
heavy.
and some, either they need to have arranged it with Amanda and Amanda needs to communicate it to you. Or they need to not do that.
Is
Yeah.
you can't reserve it online?
No,
You can't.
no, you have to
No,
call,
no,
you have to.
submit it.
It's all
call.
mediated by Amanda.
Yeah. Did I just say
Yeah.
that? It's
Yeah,
2025.
just not, so it's
Yeah.
taken me that long to
And
add
the
it
other
up.
problem is it's one person, so
Right.
if that one
So
person
if
is
she
not
doesn't-
available.
And a high
Yeah.
volume, high demand space,
And
clearly.
if that person isn't available, is out sick or something, then,
Well,
Yeah,
I feel like that
That-
should be a rule, that you don't have packages sent here. Have them sent to your own home if
that's
you're
right,
running an
working
event.
here yourself. Well, I
That's-
mean,
Yeah.
you're not having a bouncy
No,
house
there's
delivered.
Well,
something,
isn't
there's
there a
something a little
con-
rude about that, yeah, but.
The people with the bouncy house actually brought it up there themselves.
Well, I think it's, the challenge is that, and even the other day I was at something where they said the library's community room, and it is
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the library's community room, right?
It shows up in many different
Right, and so I
locations.
think it's just inherently a problem because
Yeah.
everyone sees it that way.
Yeah.
So I can see why they would, I would probably do the same thing, honestly. I'd be like,
Yeah.
paper plates,
So
sure,
you
ship
can't
them.
reserve it, nor can you pay for it. I feel like that should be. I don't think it goes like that, but you guys are asking for website updates. There you go.
And he's got some more things too.
I promise I'll be quick.
No, please, I'm so fascinated by this.
Let me see.
I'm so glad I
Do you know
came.
what the Millbrook community calendar that?
I'm so
I can't believe people send
Having to give me
packages.
so you can.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a
Just minute
package
from this
for
minute.
one of my neighbors, Elena.
It's a
Club.
community event.
Down the
It's
hill.
just an Excel
I read about
spreadsheet.
it in the paper.
So I
But
took it down
it's
to her mailbox,
quite
and her
a
mailbox
tab,
is
and
big
so
enough
for
to put it in.
2025, you could go in and see.
And she lives like
There's the
Correction.
18th
down the
fire and
drive.
ice party for the Stissing Center, so all of the local community organizations can go in and they all, it's the event calendar for Millbrook, Pine Plains and the surrounding areas. I don't know if you're familiar with this
For-
either.
For
But the
For
who's-
nonprofit,
still-
so
Oh.
somebody created it and
Uh-huh.
it's been tracked since like 2020. And so
Can you send that to me? Because for the, it's totally
fascinating.
different, but for the newspaper, she's literally like going on different people's websites, trying to
Right.
find out when events are,
And
like,
so,
it's
like,
such a waste of time.
we're responsible, so for Weathersfield, like, we're responsible for going on and adding all of our events, but then we make sure that it doesn't interfere with the DLC and it doesn't interfere
Right.
with the Stissing Center's
Right.
events, and it's planned
Right.
out a year in advance.
That's
So
amazing.
a lot of times, like Innisfree, Carey Institute, it's for the big events.
Yeah.
So to make sure we're not all stepping on top
Yeah,
of
yeah,
each other.
that
Yeah,
totally
can you
makes
send that
sense.
to me?
Yeah,
too?
Yeah.
absolutely.
What else did you have?
Sorry, Annie.
Oh, no
That was
worries.
Yeah,
fascinating,
that's
though.
great, because then, yeah,
Yeah, it's
otherwise
so
it takes
nice.
so much time to try and figure it out, and then you
Yeah.
don't even get it right.
Like the Millbrook horse trials, even Millbrook golf and tennis, like we started putting the stuff on there too, just to be able to not overlap, because you're
Right.
all going after the same
Mhm.
people. It's the
Yeah.
same
Right.
Yes,
community.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I can. send it.
Okay,
Thank you.
Annie.
Renters don't seem to be made aware of how to lock and unlock the doors.
Yeah.
They also are not reliably locking them. I was leaving one day and saw a woman, and I felt quite bad for her, trying really hard to lock the doors with the key. The keys will only let you get into this building. You need to use the Allen key
Yeah,
to lock up and to permanently, unlock.
so there isn't like a card with directions posted somewhere, or, okay.
No, and I imagine people might be a little wary of posting something openly
Yeah.
just because people at least one of our Allen keys, somebody walked off with, I think.
Right.
Mm.
But when you book the room, you should get
Yeah.
a confirmation email that explains to you don't send
Your obligation
Amazon
to-
boxes full of paper plates
Yeah.
and napkins.
Yeah.
These are the
And this is-
obligations to
right.
lock up the building. This is how you do it. Seems like it's pretty simple.
Mhm.
I say
Who would
that.
do that anyway? I'm
It seems
sorry.
like common
If
sense
you were
thing, yeah.
having, you
But
know, an event
clearly
at the
not.
Legion Hall, you wouldn't be sending your packages there. I don't get it. That is-
I don't know, maybe
We're
they
here.
would be. Maybe they would be.
I agree with you.
In this
Jean.
town.
No, I mean, I can
agree.
see someone sending, I could certainly see someone sending something here, like, I don't find
Yeah.
that. In the day of Amazon and you
Right.
order, you no longer have the store on the corner to go buy your
Right.
paper plates from, so. I could kind of see why someone might do that, but obviously we can't
The whole
accommodate
issue
that.
comes down to
So-
poor communication from
Yeah.
the town
Right.
to us, the town to whoever's renting it, and from the renters that
Sure.
want to send their bouncy house via Amazon to us.
But wait, there's more.
I'm sorry.
But there's more.
This kind of goes along what we've already said, but we've had people upstairs come down, ask us to look after their belongings upstairs. That should not be library staff's job, I don't
No.
think.
You mean like they're gonna leave and they want you to?
Yeah, they're gonna leave the premises and they want us to keep an eye and
And
make sure
make
nobody
sure
goes up and
first.
takes their stuff.
It goes back to they think that the library runs the community center.
Yeah. We've also
The new
had.
sign will make that very clear.
I don't think it will. I think it'll help.
I mean, it might make us understand it better. You know,
Forever, it's
truth
been-
is Alexis used to handle I think she was doing the calendar, but when Brian came in, he made it very clear that it was not our space in lieu of a scheduled event.
Mhm.
And so we moved all our stuff outside. We don't have our meetings up there anymore. We respected, that being said, and Amanda took over doing the calendar and it's been difficult since then. So.
More?
Yeah.
Well,
So
he
that
was-
can be in
Two more.
that can be in the email
was-
of directions too,
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
your, that library staff is not responsible for your belongings, or if you leave stuff up there, it's at your own risk.
Right.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
also, when Brian
Hmm.
started and the library approached him about, a calendar that would,
Was shared.
A shared.
he said no,
Yeah.
he wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah.
I remember it exactly.
Yeah.
Was there a reason?
He just didn't want to, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what, I honestly don't recall what
Reason.
what his reason was.
Honestly, we looked at it renting it probably like a year or two ago, and it was just tracking the person down, getting the paper, and then having to like print the form, take the form to it was like, okay, never mind, we'll just not bother. But, they just, an online questionnaire would be so easy to just be able to keep it all
A
online.
form, yeah.
Like some sort of form. And when it's approved, it's just added to the calendars. Yeah, I think there's probably.
Isn't there some kind of rental agreement?
yeah.
Yeah.
This goes over more about some things we've already talked about a bit, but future renters will come in. We can't verify that they are future renters, but people
And they
will come
want to see
in.
the space.
They do, and even if we tell them, oh, there's an event currently going on, they will go up anyway. Even if it's a library event, if there are other people up there, they will just go up. Or they'll expect, again, library staff to give them a tour. Which, I mean, I love to be friendly, but that's quite a bit. And
We'll put you in a really awkward position too. Right?
yeah,
And there's no receptionist like there would be at a big.
Yeah.
Place that had more than one space. There would be a desk that you came in and.
In the new town hall, Janine, is there a plan to put in another community room?
I think it has been discussed, yeah, but there aren't, steadfast
Plans,
plans yet. But I would encourage people once the architects get to that point, I would encourage people to come to those
Yeah.
meetings.
Mhm.
So that you can, have your ideas heard.
and the very last one, I promise. someone lied to us about being allowed to rent the upstairs. The person had not paid yet. But they claimed that they couldn't get the keys from town hall because town hall closed before they could leave work. So the secretary and I and Dan now have all of each other's numbers. So when there are conflicts, we can text her, and so far she's been very responsive, but if she's busy, you know, I had to stay late to let this person in, and then I found out, because I didn't want to risk the town saying, you blocked someone who paid.
Right.
I didn't want to risk that.
And then you found out they hadn't paid.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that if we could get a communal calendar, this would solve
some of
it,
that.
but
Okay.
I would also like there to be a feature that if someone has reserved it, if they've paid and received the key or not,
Yeah.
that would be really helpful, because again, people will come in and say, who locks the doors?
Right.
And things like, someone came in quite irate about the fact that the doors to the upstairs, the internal ones, were locked, and why did we as the library not open them? Again, our stance is we don't unlock those doors
Mhm.
unless it's for one of our events, you know, that's just leaving it open to the public.
And there's a sign that says, please lock the doors when you leave.
Mhm.
I think what you said is just the best, the only way for the library to handle it at this point. Somebody comes in, whether they're kind, irate, regardless.
Mhm.
Here is the supervisor secretary number.
Mhm.
She's the one who deals with it. If you cannot get in touch with her, here's the supervisor's number. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's not our space. As frustrating as, because it puts you guys as the monkeys in the middle, but
Yeah, we are usually the complaints department,
yeah.
especially
Right.
regarding temperature or someone set up, yeah.
Mhm.
We do try to direct people to town hall, but there isn't,
Right.
from what
We
I can
need
tell, follow through on the
that-
other people's end. They
yeah.
told us and now their job is done.
Mhm, mhm.
So, oops, sneak the next
What if there
point
was
in.
a phone number posted out there for the town hall? You know, or, you know, just separating the two places. I don't know,
I don't know.
What do you mean?
you know, post the phone number for the town hall
Oh, so
with a
if you have
sign that
questions-
says,
Yeah.
We get calls all the time,
Oh.
like, for that. Can we rent the building? Oh, well, here's the number that you need to call. We
That's
we
not
have
surprising though.
that, yeah, we have that.
Right.
That might be
So-
more, I think you were thinking, like, if they come in and they have a problem, they see right there, that's who I call.
Right.
I think it should be in their contract. I mean, like whatever their
Right, I think
contract
the
is,
contract needs
this
to be a little
is,
in depth.
you know, this is who you reach out to. This is.
I don't even know what the contract looks
I
like.
was
to be
gonna
honest
say,
with
it
you.
might even be in
I'm-
the contract, some of this.
I don't even know, because I mean, I don't.
But maybe maybe the contract could be redesigned in such
Yeah.
a way that they have to actually initial that they accept.
Exactly.
Or we can print a card that has their
Extra.
information.
Maybe,
just
maybe
here,
that
call these
lawyer
people.
that you paid all
think-
that money to could help write that contract more.
Problem
Warren?
often,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the problem often is that
Little-
town hall
little
has
lady.
closed
Little
and the
lady.
event is going.
Yes.
At some meeting about the
Sorry.
library.
fair, yeah.
We call this little lady.
He called us little ladies. He goes, the little ladies at the
When?
library. This was when we.
What year?
This was
Last
2 years ago.
year.
This was when we announced that we were going for the. Yeah.
Mm.
And he's like, I would recommend that the little ladies at the library make sure they have a lawyer. I
Yeah.
cannot represent them. And I was like, oh no, we've got a lawyer.
I told my husband and I we should have a lawyer as well because he was gonna sue us.
Yeah.
So it was, I have a lot of comments about that one.
On a positive note, I don't know if anybody else, I'm surprised at how in demand that space is, so.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I
honestly.
would not have initially
Right,
suggested
found
a
it.
community
I did
room
find-
space for the new town hall, but it seems like there's
I mean, they
a need in the
do,
town.
yeah, and they
Mhm.
do on their website, they have the application, so the request for to use the space, which is the organization's name, requester's name, phone number, address, email address,
Mhm.
dates requested, description. And it does have actual time of
Mhm.
start and end for the event, additional setup time, additional cleanup time, estimated attendance. The fees, there's a security deposit, room check, when the keys were, but the checklist for the renters is decorations must be removed. Chairs should be stocked and put away, tables wiped down and put away, kitchen cleaned, refrigerator emptied and spills cleaned, floor free of garbage, bathrooms checked, toilets flushed. Garbage to be taken with you, floors to be swept. So it's a check out, but it's not to
They
check
don't have a check
in.
in.
So a check in,
Mm.
it's like an Airbnb. Like when you
Yeah.
check in, there's usually like a welcome. Here's
Yeah.
what you need. Like here's all the information you need. I feel like it would
And
be.
does it
But it
have
does have
numbers for
setup
how-
time, doesn't it?
Nope.
Allison?
You don't
Uh,
have-
It does not have any phone numbers. I mean, the Pine Plains PO box is listed on here.
Well,
So you can send a letter.
It does have the Main Street address too, but there's no phone number listed on that. There is a phone number listed on the request for space. And it does have additional setup time and additional cleanup time listed, but it's not explicit that if you
Well, I
need
know when we
access.
use the upstairs for the book sale, we have to put
Yeah.
the setup
Mhm.
time and when we're,
Mhm.
Well, Annie also said, when will last thing about the town
Oh.
hall not being, or, yeah.
Town hall is often closed. A lot of events they'll be setting up or
Yeah.
having the event at 6 p.m. And folks at town hall have understandably left for the day.
Right, right. So that's why there needs to
Yeah.
be a chain of cell phones,
Yeah.
you know, if you can't reach this one, you have to,
Mhm.
there have to be at least three, right?
Yeah.
But the
So-
checklist is just cleanup, not, set up and what's
And
allowed,
rooms.
what's not allowed. Are you allowed to have a bouncy house or are you not? It doesn't say you're not.
Right,
allowed.
does it say anything
Um,
about, locking up or keys or anything?
Keys, upon leaving, lights must be turned off and doors must be locked.
Right, but people don't know how to lock that door.
Yeah. I wouldn't know how to lock that door probably if you
Yeah.
asked me to.
Yeah, it's a weird lock. We don't
Yes.
expect people to.
Mhm,
Put the
Right.
key in, yeah,
mhm,
but that's not it.
mhm,
Yeah, right? But that's the
Yeah.
logical thing we've all been doing. So I don't blame them at all,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, we get
Okay.
griped at. I'm tired of that.
mhm.
yeah, so I
Okay.
think just communication increases, I think, could take care of the vast majority of this.
Yeah.
Any other
That's a
questions?
big That's a big thing.
Oh,
Oh, actually, I have this all typed up if you wanted it.
Perfect.
Yeah, do you want me to just send it to you?
Yes.
All
that'd
right,
be
yeah.
great.
And just, this is more anecdotal than anything, are the people that are coming in local? Are they from neighboring towns? Not that that matters a whole ton, I'm just curious.
Oh, you mean for the people upstairs?
Yes,
I know.
That are renting.
because anybody can rent it, right? It's town
Yeah,
resident,
anybody.
it's a little
I think
cheaper
there's a
than,
different fee
Yes,
Right.
there
for a
is.
resident and a non-resident, right?
They should also.
I'm not
okay.
sure, honestly.
Yeah.
$50 for residents, $100 for non-residents, plus a $50 security fee,
Huh.
for security deposit.
that's cheap.
That's-
Wow.
It's very, I know
That's
that they
really
talked
cheap,
about
yeah.
raising that price, because that is cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's, that doesn't matter what I think.
Please share.
But I
I was
think-
saying, I mean, I do think that it should be affordable
Yeah.
to people,
agree.
or
Mhm.
if people can't afford it, then there should be you should
A
be able.
sliding scale.
A sliding
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
For people who, not everyone can
Who are
afford
local,
$50,
yeah.
and they might want to have their toddler's birthday party and they can't have it in their home that won't accommodate 20
Mhm.
toddlers. So
Mhm.
I think there should be a sliding
agree.
scale. That's just my opinion, but
I would say up the rate for the out of town.
I would definitely say that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
But the,
And I mean, you can also do a personal rental versus a nonprofit rental or a
Yeah.
business rental, like there's other
Mm.
ways to tier it
Mhm.
too.
Well, the nonprofit is supposed to be free.
Yeah.
But the newspaper can't get it for free. Even though they're a 501c3.
Mhm.
We offer free use of our space to other nonprofits in the area, so
Thank
if
you.
you ever
And,
need a
um,
space.
Thank you.
Yeah, Fossil can't get it for free either.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Is there a written policy that nonprofits get it for free, or was that just that used
Is
to
it on
be
that form?
It just says resident or non-resident, resident fees 50,
Mm.
non-resident
find
is
out.
100.
I brought it up in a meeting. I asked specifically in a meeting if
somebody
nonprofits,
said-
if
Mhm.
nonprofits could get it for free, and including the newspaper, and I didn't get a response.
I mean, I could see a security deposit still, if they felt like they needed to just cover it, but
Right.
I don't see why.
Right,
we can't.
right, but public comments aren't necessarily gonna be answered at the moment. They're
Oh, no,
asked, so-
I'm just, it wasn't a complaint. I was just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
and
questions?
I don't know, ever since we've been in this building, the Friends have been allowed to use it for free as part of the library,
Mhm,
but I don't know about other nonprofits.
mhm.
Janine's just gonna add it to her list. It's gonna be at the end of her 10-page
It'll be at the
binder
back
of things to accomplish.
Any other questions on facilities?
No,
Okay.
I think that we kind of hit that one.
Thank you. Sorry about
The drain that's
Oh.
falling into, you know,
Okay, yes.
the middle of
Yes,
the,
Brian told me that.
planet?
I was gonna,
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, Brian said they're gonna fix the catch basin at the corner,
Oh.
at the edge of the driveway. They're
Oh,
gonna fix
great.
that.
Yeah.
He also said they might be coming to fix the doors anytime because they're gonna try to get the door person to fix this door and the one at the highway at the same time.
this door is broken again?
There's something that needs to
stick.
be adjusted.
Oh,
It's
this
this door.
one. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
this one in the
okay.
front, it sticks really badly.
Yeah,
Did I?
yeah, he pulled me aside and told me those two things.
Do we have any updates on a,
I'm so sorry, I have to walk my dog.
do we have any update
Thank you.
on a crosswalk, or is there
No.
nothing? Okay.
Don't
It's
hold your
not a
breath.
dead issue, but
Don't hold
it's,
your breath.
Oh, I'm not, I'm just, keep pushing.
yeah.
Keep asking.
I think,
Other-
Like you
I
go to
think
the
it's a
school.
good,
Yeah.
There's a couple
I
places.
think for the grant
they
writer
use
to work
it.
on.
It is.
Yes,
You know, it would be really great is if we could offer a grant writing workshop.
So Janine, do you want to tell Allison about your idea, even though since she wasn't at the meeting?
Well, so, I have been in conversation with, Choice Words.
Okay.
You know them?
Mm-mm.
So you've heard of their successes, I'm sure.
Mhm.
It's a grant writing firm out of
Okay.
New Paltz.
Okay.
And it's Steve Densmore, started it. He has 11 people on his team.
Oh, wow.
He started it because he was the grant writer for the Walkway Over the Hudson.
Mm.
And we all know how successful that
Mhm.
was and
Mhm.
is. And so we are scheduling a workshop meeting with them in March. It'll be the Monday before I'll tell you what it is. It will be March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And I'm completely convinced that they're worth their
Mhm.
weight in gold, and you know, it's expensive. It's $100 an hour. It's this is just off the top of my head. It's like $100 an hour, and you have to commit to 20 hours a month or something like that. But they search for the appropriate grants for
Mhm.
whatever your business needs,
Mhm.
and then they apply for
Mhm.
them, of course, with, you know, gathering information
Yeah.
from whoever. And so when I was talking with Kiri about it, we said, well, I wonder if we could share them
Mhm.
and then, you know, share the cost, because
Mhm.
it's a lot of money, but you know, to spend $30,000 and get 5 million, that's a no
so
brainer.
it's 200 an hour and
100 an
requires
hour
100 an
for
hour
20 hours a
for
month.
20 hours.
Yeah,
a month,
I think
which
so.
is 2,000 a
Don't
month. Okay,
completely
that's-
quote me on that
yes,
because I
that's
don't
fine.
have it in
If
front
you
of me.
shared that between 4 entities, that's $1,000 per entity, right?
Mhm.
At that
Yeah,
rough
but
estimate.
I don't know about 4.
Yeah.
Who
You
would
were
be
gonna
the
go
four?
to try, you're going to
do-
do tri-towns, right? Is that who you were?
I was thinking about presenting it to Tri-Town, but then when I was in, and this really, well, when we were in conversation.
We are on
Yeah,
YouTube,
when we
just
were
so
in
you know.
conversation about the ADU, you know, towns really, we want things to happen in our
Right.
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
So if
Right.
we win a grant,
Mhm.
well, of course, we want that to
Right.
come to fruition in
Right.
High Plains.
Right, it's like we wouldn't
So-
share it with Stanfordville, because
Yeah.
we're
Right.
both going after the same.
Yeah, we
grant.
might,
Yeah.
so there's probably too much of a conflict
Uh-huh.
to share it with other
Makes sense.
municipalities,
Yeah.
but maybe
But if it
I
was
because the library is in our
Yeah.
municipality.
Right.
I would think within the town of Pine Plains, fire
Yeah.
district has a separate,
I'm not sure
They
do
can't
much
get grants
grant
anymore,
writing.
I heard.
What?
I thought they couldn't get grants anymore.
one.
I thought they didn't fulfill one of their grants and they were banned from getting grants.
Don't know about that.
I
But
heard from
it would
someone who
ha-
used to
it-
work in the town hall.
It would have to be the company because the company would be the volunteer organization, not the district, but Memorial Hall, the newspaper, there's Willow Roots. I think there's a ton of entities in the town with different mission statements.
Yes, agreed.
That
Right.
could
Yeah.
benefit at different levels.
Yeah.
And could share.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think from the Willow Roots perspective, it would be something. we'd
Yeah, that
probably
would
really
be, I
interested
think
in.
that would be,
Yeah.
yeah, and
They don't
I
have the
did
capital necessarily, though.
speak to Choice
Fair.
Words about that. I said, would you, is that something that you would entertain? And they said, yeah, of course, we can
Mhm.
talk about that.
Hmm.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. I was
And
just
can we-
thinking more from a, like, learning how to, I was looking at the seed grant for where I work, and I'm like, I have no idea how to write a grant, but it would be, you were like, oh, that's an easy one, and I'm like, is it? Like, how easy can I actually do it? But it just thinking about the programming, I was more thinking of the small scale, the programming you're offering, or like the Friends learning groups that they're doing, not that it would be necessarily appropriate for the Friends to host a lunch and learn and grant writing 101, but it would be interesting to see if it's a way.
Does Mid Hudson have grant writing
I think
courses?
so.
Because that might be someplace too.
Yeah, it might
Okay.
be, yeah. It was just a thought
Uh,
that
Yeah.
there's so many programs that we're doing that are, the one for estate planning, I'm actually interested in. I have a little, like, I don't have to really worry about that right this moment, but it would be something other than the history based, like you had mentioned before. But this is a bigger picture for the community, and that would also be really, really.
Well,
fascinating.
Yeah, but
Does-
I think that a grant writing, I would attend a grant
Does
writing.
Berkshire Taconic do grant writing?
Maybe.
They might.
I asked,
There you
I had asked Aileen if she would be interested in helping us, and she was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
She's
up
like,
to her eyeballs.
yeah, she's like, I could give you someone who you could pay,
Yeah.
but she's like, no.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, we gotta get back to the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is all very interesting. And thank you.
So, sorry, is that
Elaine,
a
for-
workshop that we could go to as well, or you'll let us know if we could
It's,
the
the
attend?
workshops are open to the public.
Okay, on the
There isn't a
7th.
spot for, there isn't an agenda item for public comment, but it's an open.
On the it's a workshop it's a town workshop.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, okay, got it. I put it on my
As
calendar.
long as it's filmed. that's
Okay.
great.
Yeah. And you can really confirm
Okay.
what's said.
Yes.
Sorry, we really need to move on because it's after 8 now. The two policies that we were going to go over were the freedom of information policy. These changes that you made seem perfectly appropriate. To just make it 30 days instead of 15 and then have to.
It's
Like
standard.
that's
It is standard since it's
Yeah.
been run. The only other change, if that was clear about which pieces of information can be redacted.
Right,
But again, there's the litigation that's occurring with these things is ongoing. So that's why I pointed it back to that we will follow
whatever policy is
that-
acceptable.
right
yeah.
by that
Right,
organization.
yeah, no, that makes total sense. And then I'm just gonna ask that we try to format the forms
Yes.
in a neater and then PDF format.
Yeah, I did.
Um,
I did not get.
Okay,
I have not done that yet. That's
okay,
that's all
no,
I-
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah, we just need to do the whole thing.
Yep,
All of them.
great. But yes, I think we should accept this policy as amended. And the forms as amended. I make that motion for the FOIL appeal and request. Will someone second that?
Second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, and then the second one is this Narcan.
Naloxone, yeah, I would like Patrick to look that over. before-
Okay.
Because this was a policy that was put in place by Adrian's. So it's a
Mhm.
much bigger library than what we are. And so it's just, I really wanted him to look at it before they sent it
So
to all
this-
of us.
This, and this is the policy is that the library staff will be trained and the naloxone will be on site.
Yes,
So.
yeah,
Does that mean there has to be one person on site who has had the training?
Yes,
Or is
yeah,
that?
we don't have to have it.
It's like the AED training, because this was done through the EMS division of the
It's-
county.
It's 20 minutes of training. I
Uh,
mean, it's like 30 minutes. So
yeah.
yeah, we can have everybody on staff trained.
But
no
that's the
problem.
reason that it's the single use, you don't have to set anything up, because it's stupid proof, it's.
Right.
Like an
it is-
EpiPen, right?
It's like Afrin.
It's,
Stick it
yeah,
in
it's a
their
nose.
It's a no, no.
And
no,
there's-
The training I had was like, do it and then step away.
Yeah. Yeah, so everybody on staff can be trained.
It's the same with the AED, it's great, I'm sure it's our policy that the staff have to be trained, but if a patron were in the library, they can use it.
Right.
Regardless of training or not.
Yeah.
And then also, if you use it on somebody who isn't having an overdose, there's no negative impact
Nothing.
of it
Virtually
too.
none.
Yeah,
No.
so I know
Yeah,
from a.
it might
person,
make them a little jacked up, but.
Yeah, but make it like just
Yeah.
from a covering the library, if someone were to use it that isn't trained
Mhm.
necessarily on
Right.
it, it's not gonna cause them.
My only question is, what is when say it does get used or it expires, as I imagine would be a more,
How does it get?
you have to fill
replaced?
out a form, send it to the Board of Health,
Mhm,
county replaces it,
mhm.
that's it,
That's it.
great.
We keep,
Can't you go to CVS and buy it for like 20 minutes?
The county has tens of thousands of grant for it,
Yeah,
which is where it's sponsoring, and on the ambulances, we have leave behind kits.
Okay.
That will be given out, again, more City of Poughkeepsie,
They-
Fairview,
Yeah,
right,
less
yeah.
Pine Plains.
Right.
Baldwin,
they,
but
honestly,
does
I
have
had my
it.
training done at the senior fair, two summers ago.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of anytime they'll do it, if they can, you know, get you to concentrate for 5 minutes, they can run through the training with you, so. And then I just had to fill out the card and. I do keep it in my car, but
But it's temperature sensitive, so
Mhm.
keeping it in your car is not.
well, they said,
they said under the seat.
they said that
actually.
it doesn't, they have used
less.
expired. They have used that has been in cars and in
Yeah.
extreme temperatures and still works.
Oh,
So if it's
Okay,
an
I was told not
emergency,
to
just
keep
use it. When in doubt.
It'll
use it.
lower the efficacy,
I
but it's
think they
not,
tell
it's
you to
nominal.
do it, yeah, that's what
And I'm like,
I,
really, do I have to carry this in my purse everywhere?
Yeah.
well, that's why
I don't know.
I've decided to keep mine under my seat.
With EpiPens, I was told the same thing, don't throw them out even when they're expired, just keep
They
them.
usually give you a window with the medication, if it's yellow or looks, off,
Right.
then throw it out.
Right.
But they're $800, so,
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll have Patrick just eyeball that,
Yeah.
and then we'll redo that. Okay, so we'll move that to the next, oh, I just shut this down again. Sorry. Do we want to say the sign looks great? One more time?
Yeah, I need to take a picture of it. I keep forgetting to do it.
The
when
sign
it's
looks
light up.
really great.
The sign looks
We should
amazing.
have a party in Curie's barn when it's above freezing.
Sign looks great and I know you already brought it up, but I didn't actually thank the town for the sign in what I
Yeah.
said, but anyway.
That's-
thank you
Anyway,
and Jay for picking it up.
I thanked
Yeah.
Claire and Jay publicly for
Yes.
picking it up, which was
Did
great. It
that
was
make it
big.
into the paper?
The paper got it
It's-
as the town was thanked for the sign, but it's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, I did mention it to
I
Patrick.
heard.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or-
but it looked, the
Yeah,
sign looks,
he got a
the
bunch
sign
of-
looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it
So,
really does.
I mean, like, better than I could have expected.
As
It's
soon
gonna
as
look
we could
so
make
nice
some
when it's
exciting.
up there. It's really exciting. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy.
Yeah.
Here,
Finally.
3 months when the.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
get out
now
there
the
with
ground
blow
is-
dryers.
Yeah. But we'll work, what I did say is that we'll work with the town and Eddie to make sure we can put it in a spot
Right.
that everyone is comfortable with.
Right.
Yep.
So,
That's not too close to, so Brian brought up if the fire truck has to come in, so he needs a little give on either side of the driveway, so it can't be right up against the
Right.
driveway. And then we need to not hit the propane tank,
all
so,
good things.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, what I'm remembering from the meeting where it was discussed was that that Eddie, Brian and Carl. You should have, like one of those.
Yeah, we'll have
little
them all.
powwows.
We'll have all the alpha men come and they can tell us little ladies where to put the sign.
Okay.
And then we can make the joke, how many town officials
The little
does it
ladies
take
at the
to
library
locate?
in reverse.
It's fine, and truthfully, it's like, once we know where it is,
They could just spray it with the.
yeah, spray it, and
The,
then Jay and I'll
paint.
dig some holes and we'll plug it in. We already did the policy review. I don't think we have any updates on the fundraising.
Money still keeps coming in.
Money keeps coming in, that's great.
I'll just say I didn't move forward on the raffle because I didn't get a full commitment, so we'll do it later on in the year at some point.
Yeah.
Where we have a little bit more time to broach the subject.
Yeah. Gives us some time to talk to people.
And thank you, Ethan, for writing all the thank you notes.
Yeah.
Donations.
Still more to do, if anybody on the board wants to.
Thank you for yours. And I got one from Ethan too.
Yeah.
Yes, the Willow Roots is having their craft sale up there February 1st.
Okay. Good to know. Is there old business? Ethan, do you have any old business? You often do.
I'll be quick.
Oh, God.
I'll be very quick. So you all, I mentioned putting around flyers around town for board members.
Mhm.
I also put physical copies of the board application. I am pleased to say a lot of them have disappeared. So I'm hopeful that it's not just for scrap paper, but it's actually being filled out. I don't know if you've had any interest come into the library where you guys have followed up.
Not-
What happened with,
What happened with Matt? Did he?
He's still considering.
Okay. I didn't want to unilaterally put that flyer online, and I didn't mention that to the board. Is that something the board is fine with?
I think the
Have one.
application is online.
Yeah.
I mean, on Facebook,
Oh,
like.
it's
actually-
fine.
I think it's
Post.
fine to publicly post.
I'll do
the-
that. And I have
Mhm.
more physical copies of the board application. I will put those around. I had mentioned 2 months ago, somebody was interested. He is starting different classes, which are Tuesday nights.
Oh,
So that's
Okay, so
a
that-
shot.
okay.
I gave Deanne a few grants, including the Stewart's holiday match,
Mhm.
which was 43 or 4,400 this year, just through Pine Plains. And we've gotten it before. I don't remember what year, but it's within the past couple of years. Ted would probably remember.
Yeah, we did get it.
And they seem to bounce around between different charitable organizations, the Food Locker and whatnot, so that's something we can do again this year. And I gave Allison a list of CD accounts nationally. I'd like to move forward with that next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And possibly take 50,000 here, 50,000
Yeah.
there, and then when we get the town money, which is imminently coming in April, and put that into, have a plan for that, for a chunk of money. In which
Go
we
into
can,
short term. yeah.
whether it's short-term savings or what, again,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
So-
what are the laws or rules surrounding who would need to be on the account? You usually need at least 2 people on the account. For a business account. So it would be you,
I
I assume
think-
as president.
Ted, would it have to be you?
Yeah.
Has to be somebody that can access the funds.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Usually it's the financial officer and the president of the board.
Yeah, so me and Ted.
Just to make sure that if I get paperwork and information from
Yep.
it, I know who to have sign it.
I would really like to sit in when you discuss that.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't think we've had any discussions yet. We just keep saying we need
we
to do
keep,
it, and
we
I think
keep
it's
doing
just-
a little research and
Yeah.
then we don't really get
Mhm.
to it.
Mhm.
And Ethan, Stewart's grants are already closed at the end of January. So if you have,
we have, what, 2 weeks until the end of,
It's the 20,
No,
10
I'm
days.
just saying, if you want to submit it,
Yes.
I'll do
I'd
it.
be in by the 31st.
I'll get it done.
copy that. I had one question further on the grants, and I think I asked this, I just don't remember. If we were to, are we legally allowed to use? We got $50,000 from Mrs. Perkins' estate. That is unallocated money. We are treating it as a grant because of its size.
We are treating it as a donation.
Okay.
But
But our track,
it's recorded on the grant paper, so we keep track of it on one sheet instead of two.
Could we utilize a portion of that money for a long-term investment, such as a CD?
You can use the money as anything you want.
Okay,
The only one that has a restriction is the Stissing Lodge account.
a large account, which just has to stay in the Bank of Millbrook.
Correct.
Okay. So, I don't know how anybody feels about numbers or whatnot, but if we could,
I think it's a good idea.
We can look at maybe a 3-month or depending on the minimum opening balance, like the Wells Fargo 4 months. Minimum opening balance is 5,000. What we do at work, what I was saying earlier is we rotate it. So we put $10,000 in January for 4 months and then another $10,000 in February for
Yeah.
4 months to keep
So
it.
you've got a
every
rolling,
month you
right.
have a rolling
Right, that makes
amount
sense.
that comes out. We do treasury bonds. I think CDs would be really similar. And I think these rates are really good. So I took a picture of this. I'll look into it. And I
Good.
can email a suggestion out. January is the most miserable month for me, to be completely honest, in audit prep. So I will do my best to get it before the next meeting.
okay, is there new business? No? Okay, we do need to have an executive session, so. We'll move in-
or
I did, thank you.
You wanted to be in on these.
Yeah, you're in on the executive session.
Oh,
Ted wants to be on it.
you're gonna have to, like.
Take off the.
Turn off.
And have-
do
and
we
have Ted
need
call
the
you,
director and
'cause if
assistant
you mute,
director
he's not
and
gonna
or
hear
the
you.
town board liaison?
Okay, wait, say this again.
No, so
Oh,
I don't know how to
fix
fix it.
No,
Okay.
I don't think we need
Please.
to.
So just Ted?
There we go.
Ted, Claire's gonna
Oh.
call you in on this meeting for the executive session, cause I'm not gonna be in on it, so Ted, she's gonna call you, okay?
It just looks like.
Who's gonna call?
Claire's
I'm gonna call.
So you can call in, so you can
And
be
I
on the
reached,
executive session.
No, I have phone that has bleach.
I'll
Does
call
that
him
not
and
work?
let him know.
We need a second.
Yeah, because we'll have to mute. and all
Okay,
this stuff.
we have to,
And,
we
So
have
let
to
me-
turn off.
Hi. Okay, are you staying? Okay, then there's no car for you then. Okay. Now I'm just gonna hang up then. Okay.